Some people vacation for relaxation, beaches, gentle waves, umbrella drinks. I get it, the appeal of sunbathing and the sound of the surf is universal. But honestly, I find that boring. There's only so much sand you can shake out of your shoes before it all starts to feel the same. Why sip a pina colada when you can risk a third-degree burn from a lava flow? The thrill of standing just feet from molten rock, feeling the heat on your face, is a rush no beach bar can match. That's a story worth telling, if you survive, of course. It's the kind of adventure that makes your heart pound and your friends question your sanity. The travel brochure, okay, a crumpled flyer stuck to my shoe, promised a walk on the wild side. I was hooked. Who could resist a tagline like that? The destination? Mount Fuego Caliente, or as locals call it, the Big Spicy Cough, an active volcano, aka a geological time bomb. Forget Disney World. This is the real deal, where the ground itself is alive and unpredictable. The real Magic Kingdom is a place where the ground is actively plotting your demise. Every step is a reminder that nature doesn't care about your vacation plans. You haven't lived until the abyss belches toxic smoke and makes you question your life choices. It's a wake-up call you can't snooze. This is vacationing for people who find meditation apps too passive-aggressive. If you want to feel truly present, try meditating while the earth rumbles beneath you. We spend our lives avoiding risk. Seatbelts, looking both ways, not eating expired yogurt. We're taught to play it safe, to keep danger at arm's length. A trip like this is a rebellion against common sense. It's about stepping over the line just to see what's on the other side. It's about making a memory so intense that your daily anxieties seem laughable. Suddenly your inbox doesn't seem so threatening. Because what's a looming deadline when you're standing on a looming geological catastrophe? Perspective comes fast when the earth is literally moving under your feet. Go big or go home, preferably not in a body bag. But hey, at least you'll have a story worth telling at every dinner party for the rest of your life. This is the modern American dream. Chasing adventure, flirting with danger, and coming back with a tale that's hotter than any beach vacation. The night before the hike was a cocktail of excitement, dread, and questionable burritos. My mind was racing with anticipation, but my stomach was staging its own protest. I kept wondering if the rumble I felt was nerves, indigestion, or the distant grumble of the volcano itself. My hotel bed felt like a cot in a tool shed. The mattress was thin, the pillow lumpy, and the sheets smelled faintly of adventure, or maybe just mildew. I tossed and turned, trying to get comfortable, but every creak of the bed made me jump. Every jungle sound was a sign of imminent eruption, the chirping insects, the distant hoot of an owl, even the wind rustling the leaves outside my window. All of it felt like nature's warning siren. The hotel's safety pamphlet? In case of eruption, please remain calm. That's it. No evacuation plan, no emergency exits, just a gentle suggestion to keep your cool while lava rains down. I doom-scrolled news. Minor tremors reported near Volcano. Not ideal bedtime reading. Each headline seemed to get more dramatic the further I scrolled, and my imagination filled in the rest. But hey, danger is just an opportunity for a better story, and I'd already paid the non-refundable deposit. I imagined scenarios, everything from heroic rescues to being the subject of a dramatic news segment, a photogenic puff of smoke, a manageable ash cloud, or a full-blown Pompeii. My mind played out each possibility like a disaster movie marathon, practiced my running from pyroclastic flow face in the mirror. I tried out a few dramatic expressions just in case I needed to look heroic for the cameras or at least for my travel blog. Packed a go bag, passport, half-eaten chocolate bar, one Band-Aid. I debated adding a flare gun but settled for extra socks and a lucky coin, prepared for anything so long as it was a paper cut. My first aid kit was more wishful thinking than actual survival gear. By morning, fear gave way to giddy acceptance. The sun was shining and the volcano looked almost peaceful in the early light. I was going to climb a volcano that could erupt at any moment. The thrill of the unknown was suddenly more exciting than terrifying. I wore my brightest shirt. If I got blasted into the stratosphere, at least I'd be easy to spot. Safety first, fashion second. Breakfast. Local eggs. That looked suspiciously like lizard eggs. I ate them anyway, figuring I'd need all the energy I could get. The air outside was still. Too still. Even the birds seemed to be holding their breath. As if they knew something I didn't. It was the kind of quiet that usually precedes a cartoon coyote falling off a cliff. I was ready, sort of. This was happening, whether I liked it or not. I took a deep breath, stepped out, and hoped for the best. My heart was pounding, but my feet moved forward anyway. Sometimes you just have to trust your luck. or your travel insurance. I had both, and I was counting on at least one to come through. Either way, I was committed. The adventure had officially begun, and there was no turning back now. The trail started out pleasant, lush forest, birds, monkeys. For a moment I forgot I was heading toward a volcano. Then the incline hit, turning the path into a rocky obstacle course designed to test your ankles. The forest thinned, replaced by skeletal trees, and an eerie silence broken only by my labored breathing. Nature wasn't my friend, it was my personal trainer, and it hated me. The higher we climbed, the stranger it got. Porous black rocks, old lava flows, reminders that this mountain vomits fire. With every 100 feet the world changed, air thinner, sun harsher, green fading to gray ash and black rock. It felt like walking on the moon, if the moon had a gas problem. The path became a suggestion, not a trail. We scrambled over loose scree, sliding back half a step for every step forward. It was a perfect metaphor for my career. I was tired, sweaty, and pretty sure I was going in the wrong direction. But I kept going, because turning back wasn't an option. A sensible person would train, buy gear, and consult experts before a volcano hike. I watched a 10-minute YouTube video, got bored and figured, how hard can it be? My gear brand new boots, bad idea. A bottle of water, gummy bears, my phone, and a decorative flask of whiskey. I interpreted water resistant on my windbreaker as lava resistant. Other hikers looked ready for Everest, trekking poles, helmets, backpacks the size of refrigerators. One guy had a portable chemistry set. He looked at my cotton t-shirt with pity. I offered him a gummy bear. He declined. I wasn't weighed down by equipment or knowledge, just optimism and poor planning. While others checked heart rate monitors, I wondered if falling volcanic rock would make a cartoon bonk sound. There's a zen quality to being utterly unprepared. You live in the moment, because you have no idea what's coming next. And you definitely don't have the right gear for it, but that's half the fun. Near the summit, the senses go on high alert, mostly in alarming ways. First, the smell, a metallic tang that blooms into rotten eggs. Sulfur, the volcano's cologne. It gets into your clothes, your hair, your soul. Your brain screams, "This is not healthy air." The jungle sounds vanish, replaced by silence and the crunch of boots on ash. Occasionally a low rumble vibrates through your feet. Everyone freezes. The guide says, "The mountain is talking." Visually, it's brutally beautiful. Above the clouds, black and gray earth, fiery red steam vents. Fumaroles hiss hot stinking gas. It's like walking through a devil's kitchen. Step carefully, or get a steam-powered facial you didn't ask for. The ground is warm, sometimes uncomfortably so. You feel the thermal energy just beneath your feet. A reminder you're standing on a chamber of molten rock. It's awe mixed with the primal fear of being cooked, like leaning against an oven door to see if it's on, and yes, it's definitely on. Every sense is on edge, and you keep climbing. Our guide, Ricardo, was the definition of unbothered. Old sneakers, faded t-shirt, and a mysterious canvas bag slung over his shoulder, as if he'd just wandered out for groceries instead of leading us up an active volcano. While we panted and sweated, struggling for breath in the thin air, Ricardo strolled ahead as if he were in a park, barely breaking a sweat, his pace unhurried, and his posture relaxed. When the ground rumbled beneath our boots, he'd simply pause, cock his head to listen, then keep going, unfazed by the Earth's warnings. His calm was both reassuring and unsettling. Did he know something we didn't? Or was he just used to living with danger as a daily companion? I tried to chat, hoping for comfort. "Is it always this rumbly up here, or is today special?" Ricardo just grinned. "Sometimes more, sometimes less." His tone was so casual it was almost like he was talking about the weather. Then without hesitation, he hopped over a fissure I'd been dreading, making it look like a minor crack in the sidewalk. His answers were simple, direct, and not at all helpful for anxious tourists like us, who wanted reassurance, not riddles. "What if it erupts?" I pressed, half joking, half serious, hoping for a plan or at least a comforting lie. He shrugged. We walked down, faster. As if outrunning lava was just another part of the job. We Americans clung to our gear in anxiety, checking phones for signal as if we could tweet our way out of a lava flow, desperate for some illusion of control. Ricardo was on a different wavelength, connected to the mountain, not the internet. His calm rooted in something deeper than Wi-Fi or weather apps. He understood its moods and dangers in a way we never could, reading the landscape like a familiar story. He was the living embodiment of "it is what it is," radiating a peace that seemed to come from years of walking this unpredictable path. And somehow that made me feel a little safer, as if his calm could shield us from the mountain's moods. Or at least, it made me feel a little less ridiculous for being there, trusting a man who seemed to know exactly how to live on the edge. Even at the crater you can't escape travel influencers. We found a pair near a steam vent, she in a flowing yellow dress, he directing a photo shoot. They weren't here for the volcano, just the content. She posed, dress billowing, face serene, then immediately complained about the smell. It was curated authenticity fearless adventure for the gram, but terrified of ash on their outfits. I couldn't resist a few sarcastic comments. Ricardo might have smiled. This is the modern explorer, armed with a selfie stick and hashtags, not a compass. Their drone took off, wobbled in the wind and crash-landed on the slope. The volcano always wins. #volcano vibes, #sponsored by nature. After an eternity of climbing we reached the summit, or as close as Ricardo deemed safe. The view staggering. A gaping crater, glowing fissures, plumes of smoke, terrifying and beautiful. The wind tried to push us back or into the crater. I stood on the edge, clutching my backpack, feeling impossibly small. All my worries melted away in the face of such indifferent power. I sat on a rock, took a sip of whiskey, and just absorbed it all. This was the pinnacle of my ill-advised vacation. I took a photo, but it couldn't capture the feeling, the smell, the rumble, the vertigo. This memory would live in my nerve endings, not my camera roll. For a moment there was no past or future, just me, the mountain, and the possibility I might not make it back down, and in a weird way, it was perfect. I was truly, completely alive. Sometimes you need to sit on the edge of disaster to feel present, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Getting down was harder than going up. Legs tired, gravity relentless, scree turning every step into a controlled fall. Ricardo danced down. I looked like a cartoon character losing a fight with a vacuum cleaner. By the bottom I was covered in ash, boots destroyed, feet blistered and smelling of rotten eggs. I collapsed, exhausted but triumphant. I'd climbed an active volcano and lived to tell the tale. An idiot, but a hero. The lesson? Sometimes the best decisions make no sense. Stepping outside your comfort zone shakes up your perspective. It reminds you the world is wild, unpredictable, and magnificent. And you're just a tiny part of it. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. If your life feels too safe, go climb a volcano. Do something that scares you. Make a memory that makes you laugh nervously forever. It's not relaxing or sensible, but you'll never forget it. Unless you get amnesia from a shockwave. But hey, that's a risk worth taking.